G'day everyone. Recently, SpaceX carried its first cargo of human passengers up to the International Space Station. It's a really historic feat, and I thought that makes it a great time for us to learn about rockets. Let's check out what you're going to need. We need some bicarb soda and some vinegar. This is going to make our rocket fuel, and we want a spoon to get it in. We need a film canister. This is going to be our rocket body. Now, if you don't know what a film canister is or you've never seen one, ask your parents. If you don't have one laying around though, any container with a pop-top lid will work. We found these in the art aisle of a cheapie shop. As long as it's got a lid like this that pops on and off. You definitely do not want a screw top lid for this. It must be a lid that pops on and off. Now, because we're talking about rockets here, rockets are powered by a controlled explosion. So we absolutely want an adult to help us out today because there is a bit of danger ahead. We also want to make sure we've got a bit of safety gear. We want some safety glasses and some gloves. The first thing to do is pop the lid off your film canister, and you'll notice there's a depression in the middle. The same's true of my little container here, although it's much larger. We want to fill up that depression with our baking soda, so I'm just going to use my spoon to pack it in, and I want to pack it in as tight as I can. I want to be able to turn this upside down without it all falling out. So once it's full, just get rid of all the excess and make sure that you can turn it upside down without it falling out and place that to one side. Then you want to grab your vinegar and start putting some into your canister. We probably want about 1 centimetre or 1.5 centimetres in the bottom of the canister here. Now make sure that you keep our two elements of our rocket apart until you've got all your safety gear on and you're outside in a safe space. Let's go and see what it looks like. I've come outside, got my safety gear on. I had to swap to some gloves that give me a bit more feeling in my fingers. What I'm going to do is very gently flip the cap on and push it down on top of my container, trying not to spill any out. And I'm going to flip the whole thing upside down so the cap's facing the ground and watch the effect happen. Let's check it out. That worked really well. It took a little while for the reaction to kick off because I had the bicarb compressed down into the lid, so it took a little bit of time for the vinegar to get in there and the reaction to take place. That gave me plenty of time to get to a safe distance, and the rocket shot nearly twice as high as my house, which was really cool to see. That was a lot of fun. Let's talk about what's happening here, because there's a couple of really interesting things happening really quickly. When we mix the vinegar and the bicarb soda, it mixes together to create something called carbonic acid. Now, carbonic acid is really unstable, so it starts to break down really quickly. And one of the things that it breaks down into is carbon dioxide gas. Now, gases take up a lot more space than solids do because their atoms are spread out a lot more. Because we're doing this in a confined space, there's nowhere for that gas to expand to, so it starts to build up pressure inside the container. When the container can't take any more of that pressure, the top of it pops off and sends our rocket flying up into the air. This is the same sort of thing that happens with real rockets. They set a fuel on fire, that combustion turns the fuel into a gas, the gas needs somewhere to expand to, it goes shooting out through the nozzle at the bottom of the rocket, sending the rocket flying up into the sky. Now the important part here is that we have a lid that can release the pressure. If you do this with a screw top lid, it can be quite dangerous, so make sure that you're doing this with a lid that will pop off and send your rocket flying. I hope you've had a bit of fun today learning about how rocket engines work, and we'll see you in the next video.